So we are in the set for Bae Café, which is a bubble tea shop in our world.
Yeah.
And this is it here, and it's super cool because you walk in and it feels like a real restaurant, and it is not. Like all of this is fake. But we wanted a space that felt very like that any family member could go to. Anyone could be here. It was an opportunity to leave the house. But I think that's like a hub of every suburb. There's just places you go. They know your order. You're a regular there. So it's just part of it. So
what small details did you need to have on this set?
Oh, I'll show you the small details. It's right back here. It's hidden away. It's this sealer. This sealer we had to have, and I threatened. I said I will buy it myself, because I just felt like every bubble tea shop needs to have the sealer, right? When it seals and they shake it over like that, you know it's good to go. So it's like stuff like that. This is a pearl machine they added this season. But yeah, it's like little details like that we wanted. But oh, is it up? Hold on, it might not be up. Oh, I think we took it down. Look at this guy. Look at that guy.
Oh, who's that? Is that from his stock?
Yeah, that's from his stock photo days. But he's been replaced with there's a lost cat. But yeah, that's like a little bit in there. So if you look, Simu is in the world with me. You know, also here you're coming to see this Celebrate Asian Heritage Month. Because we're doing an episode that takes place during Asian Heritage Month. Yeah. So I was like, well, this place should have a sign that comes up. I also don't want to give away any plot points, but I just wanted to celebrate. It might come up in an episode of season 3, but yeah, that's there for a specific reason.
Nice.
And so I'll take you out here, and like if you look out there, it looks like there's a street out there, but there is not, because it is just a backdrop. It's just a big backdrop, and that's the allure, the illusion of TV, and like we have the backdrop here, and yeah, this is all just backdrop stuff. And even like on the set here, like all these walls, like this wall can be pulled out. So if you're shooting a conversation at the table and chairs, you can remove this and shoot it this way as well as that way. But I just think this is so cool, like seeing this and being able to shoot in and see the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was, you're seeing stuff like that might affect the season, but this is like, you just see like lots of props throughout the season. I don't think I need to explain this, but like
wooden dummy.
This comes up in the season.
Oh,
and so
you got some Wing Chun action going on.
Like, boom, 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 boom. So this is in the season. Isn't, look, it exists. But yeah, there's always like lots of props.
It's so cool to see a wooden dummy on TV too.
I know, and like, I remember when I walked in, they were building this. I was like, "What? You're building these? That's awesome!" And it's one of those times you write something in a script, and then someone makes it, someone does it, and that's awesome. But yeah, that's an upcoming plot point. I'm very excited about that one. Behind the set, there's always just like equipment. There's always just like people's equipment, all the crews, and it's like very much like just like having to working together in unison. So there's 2 big studio bays. We only shoot entrances and exits here.
Okay.
Because you do have to maintain like a certain like look. I will say if you go to old episodes of Kim's Convenience, whenever they open the door, if you look hard enough, you're like, that's not a street, that is a set. And it's for that reason, because the further you go out, the illusion is lost. Here, the crew's coming over. Well, this is the amazing camera team here. This is my boy Dirty Mike. Don't ask. This is Zoe, our director for Block 5. Scott Townend, co-creator of the show. It's the amazing team coming in. They're just transitioning over. They're all coming over. This is Neelu Hanna, our showrunner. This is Jenica Harper, our showrunner. So this is the other side. So there's 2 studio bays, which is great because when you're filming in one, the other one can be prepping for the next set of episodes. Or if we're filming there, they're building sets over here. So I will take you down over this way, and we'll go into the basement first. Hey, how you doing, Payne? Good to see you. And over here is background holding, and this is where, when you're working BG on a project, you get put in this area where there's like wardrobe and makeup. So I will take you into, this is the basement, and it feels like you're walking into a basement. This is my office. I legit, like, I just sit here a lot and like work when we're in between, we're turning around, because like, also starring in the show, I'm EP and writing it. And so I'm always like doing work and emails and looking at cuts and working on scripts right here. This is our Nerf wall. Yeah.
So real.
This is the Nerf wall. Yeah. So it's the thing is, like, all these work. So like when you leave us hanging out with each other, we're always just like doing stuff, just like loading up shots and just like shooting across the room. Hot set means it's in use, so don't touch anything. Like
snowshoes too.
we do. I think that's, so sometimes I try to justify things as like things that Andrew just found on Kijiji. It was like free. It was like, it's free. It's free.
Yeah.
Right? Like that fridge was free if you go pick it up.
You have
I have a whole wall of these at home.
Yeah.
I have 2 walls of these at home, and it was modeled after like stuff that like is in my house. But around copyright, so there's like some real movies here, but then the movies that like you see are movies that like we just made up that are like fake movies, like like this one's like a fake movie, Text to Death. It was the winner of Best Picture, but it's Click on the inside.
Do you have Paris by Night?
I don't have Paris by Night, but the reason why is because all of Paris by Night or Peri by Night is all on YouTube now. Like my mom, like when she comes over and she watches my kids, Paris by Night is a very famous Vietnamese concert series. It's all on YouTube. I'm like, Mom, do you need anything? She's like, that's okay. Peri by Night on YouTube. And she just watches. And when she realized that I had YouTube Premium, she was so happy that I had YouTube Premium. And I said to Mom, I'm like, Mom, do you want me to add you to my YouTube Premium? I think that's the greatest gift I've given my mother. Access to YouTube Premium, and I shared my Netflix account password. But speaking of my mom, there is a photo of them here. Yeah, these are real photos. Yeah, these are real photos. That's my dad. And then this is my mom and my uncle and aunt, a cousin. So yeah, there's like real photos in this space. Yeah, but again, like this wall can be removed to shoot into the family. So that's, you know, sets are built this way to be able to do that, or like the ceiling can be removed if we need to light it a different way. As an Asian person, there is something so comforting about being in a basement, whether you're watching TV or getting your hair cut. There is something so comforting being in a basement. So these monitors, whenever we're filming on the inside, there's people on the outside constantly looking at everything. Hair, makeup, line continuity, lighting. So everything is just like part of it. So no, whenever you're watching your favorite TV show, movie, Korean drama, there's like 90 people on the other side of that wall making sure everyone is at their best. So this is the house here. Whoa. Yeah.
I just walked into someone's house.
Yeah. Feels a very nice house. And it is a bit bigger than, like, so we tried to model it after the house we use. It is a bit bigger for 2 reasons. One, when we started making the show, we were in COVID. So we actually needed a larger space to be able to like have, like when you need 12 or 13 people on set at all times on top of the actors. But then 2, it's just helpful to have more space to be able to film in the space. So yeah, this is the house. Once again, like lots of detail, like the gallery wall. Photos of my mom, us as a family, us during our wedding at the end of season 2. But yeah, just like making it feel like it's like really lived in. That to me looks amazing. It looks like when you look out, you're like, that is a killer backyard. Yeah. And then the kitchen here is like making it feel like a kitchen that can make Indian and Asian food, right? Yeah, so like, I remember one time they were like, we need a steamer tray. I'm like, there's one in the house. So they ran over and just got the tray that was in the house. But just like and you're seeing a lot of like, I always go up and I'm like, what do you use this for? Or like, what is this for? And it's like showing a kitchen that makes, you know, food of different cultures. And that's really nice. But then obviously, you gotta have fruit by the foot because everyone loves that. Rocky and I have a joke that when we wrap the end of the season, we're gonna go and eat one of these because we're always like, we're gonna eat one. The frames on the wall here are yeah, like this was very much for my home. The gallery wall, very much the type of decor, very much so. But we wanted like, again, it's like a discussion of like, when you have a Vietnamese Indian family, how do you decorate a home? And we went more in the route of colors, because it's not necessarily like certain items. Because I don't know, like, do you like, in regards to your home, you don't have all those Asian things the way our parents had them. It's much more subtle and it's intentional. So for us, it was like very much in the colors, like up there, like looking at influences, but like you're seeing little pops of color. That was an influence from like, you know, I feel like every Asian person has like a calendar from like a supermarket or something. So like yeah. And there's a realtor on it, or someone who sells Hondas. There's a car, yeah. So it's like that's like a tribute to that type of world, but it is very much like we were looking at colors. So you see that in designing the home. So that's like the connection to the culture, but also we wanted it to feel like what millennials, you know, would how they would decorate their home. The exciting thing this season is that for the first time we connected all the bedrooms to the house. Where in past seasons the bedrooms were like connected outward, we were able to finally connect the bedrooms to the house. So watch your feet here, but come on into the Pham bedroom. And yeah, I love this bedroom. Like, it's so nice. Yeah. But for almost everything, like if you'll notice, like we were trying to look for furniture that looked reused. So like a lot of this stuff was like Kijiji finds. And if you notice, it's like Andrew put new knobs on. And that was the idea of like, something about the suburbs is garage sales and like garage sale hunting. Like I remember on Saturday and Sunday, my dad would go to two places. One, we would go to Canadian Tire, and then two, we would go to garage sales. And so it's like looking for things that Andrew found at a garage sale and then like repurposing it for the fam. So like all these types of things here are like repainted and stained and having like a second life to it. Even in the bathroom here, it's a bit of that vibe.
And all these like lived-in details.
Lived-in details, a lot of oils, like really high-end shaver. Sometimes Raki will come in and be like, "Ooh, this is like really good lotion," and she'll like use it in the scene. She'll come out like rubbing her hands in the scene because she put lotion on. So yeah, it's just making it feel like very, very lived in. And then so the set we had to remove was my daughter had a room last season, but now she just has this cutout. and for storytelling purpose was because she got a job at Bubble Bay. So previously we needed a place for her to be, and that was her bedroom. But now that she had a job, stories in her bedroom weren't really coming up. They were actually coming up in the world. So when you're 16, 17, I don't know about you, but I was home a lot less. And for her, it's like being out, going to work, trying to have the independent life. But what we ended up doing was building a room for my son. And so this is his room this season. We're in the middle of, we were shooting a scene, but yeah, it's like giving him a space. So this is his room. It's also, this is like a $1,600 apartment in Toronto. Like this is a large space. It is, yeah. But yeah, this is like a kid's room. And so being able to like have fun with it and like, there's a lot of scenes this season where we're just shooting the basketball like this or like hanging out, but it's pretty fun. But like, yeah, look at all the details. Like those basketballs were hand painted by someone in our art department. A lot of these graphics are custom done. It's the most addictive room because we're always coming in and playing with all the things like slinkies, Rubik's cubes, finger trap things, fidget things. Yeah. So this is his room. I will say I have come here with my lunch and gotten some chili oil and put it on my food, just like, and gone back to my trailer. And then one of the directors in Block 1 brought me some chili oil. Alicia Young brought me chili oil that she made. She makes chili oil. She made it and brought it for me. This artwork was done by my friend Mandy Stobo. And Mandy Stobo is, she goes by the moniker Bad Portraits. And she did this, and she's my friend from Calgary, and I wanted this really cool art piece. So when you walked in, this is the Phams. But you see it, you're seeing the Phams, and we wanted lots of photos of us. There is like, we got to replace it. There are a lot of photos of just the three of us because Roman, we shot this a week before we made season 1, and we had never really all hung out with each other, only through Zoom. And Roman was filming Ivy and Bean in Vancouver, and so he wasn't here for it. And so we shot a bunch of these photos with just the three of us. But also like I have two two boys, and I don't have a daughter. And so when we were taking these photos, I just was like, where do I put my hands? Like I don't know how to pose as a family, right? And so we were like figuring it out. We were figuring out how it worked. But this is okay. So first week of production, we don't have Roman Pacino, who's my son. He's filming Ivy and Bean. One day there's a kerfuffle on set. They don't tell me what's happening. We're filming the scene, and then afterwards they're like, Scott Town and my co-creators like, do you want to know what happened? And I'm like, what happened? They're like, so we got word that we might not have Roman because Ivy and Bean is going longer. And I was like, oh my God. So we might not have my son. And so that's why there's an episode where they're trying to frame out any frames so that if we recast my son, that he wouldn't have been in any shots. But thankfully, Roman was wrapped out of that show and was able to come and hang out with us. And it's great. And Ivy and Bean is great. I watched that show with my kids at home. It's the best. And having Roman here has been the best. So it all worked out for everybody. The most jarring thing is shooting. It's like 9 a.m. and you're shooting a scene that's lit for 10 p.m. And because your body will start responding like it's bedtime. And so I remember being like, why am I so tired? It's because the lights are dim. Or when we were shooting an episode with Jully Black and Kardinal Offishall, all the scenes were at night, but we're shooting them at like 8 in the morning, and we're like, I'm so tired because it was dark out, right? But yeah, this is it. I think you're the first to really get like a set tour of this world.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
I know. I think you should.
Yeah.